Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. I got a shirt that my green screen can't see, and I love it a lot. I do. So we made it through the weekend. Whew, finally. Uh, finally we have Monday. Oh my gosh, and we got a superstar here. Bill's here, guys. Hi, Bill. And Bren's back today. Hi, Bren. We missed you yesterday. Fozzie, are you still at work? Or are you still off work, or are you at work tonight? I think you're not working right now. I know you have off tonight, or some Mondays coming up. So I got a DeSantos. I know that's not normally my thing, but all right, I got a DeSantos, and I got a North Dakota. I got a couple things. I don't want to say what they are because I don't think I have time for everything. I think I got too much stuff. So, does everybody have video? It looks like it's fine. It looks like there's no issues. I mean, there's always going to be issues, but I'm not muted. I didn't fix it like I promised Fozzie I would, but that's okay. There's always tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll get it right. My son's back. Poor Texas, you lost a good one. You gave him back to me. And I was working all night, so I wasn't here when he came home. But apparently, he went right to sleep and slept for hours until I started working. That's the way it goes, though. That's the way it goes. I'm getting my most rambunctious male cat fixed today in a couple hours. And I'm super excited because I super can't handle him anymore. But he's my favorite. He's with me everywhere I go. My Lafayette from True Blood. If you watch True Blood, then you know Lafayette is of course your favorite. I don't know if he's my favorite. I really love Jason and Alcide and Eric. God, I love Eric. Anyway, let's start with some videos. There's DeSantis.
Matter of Dina Wise, 2323658 for B. This one's B. All right, and council?
Good afternoon, you're on Trumbull, P 307 you have Ms. Wise. Ms. Wise, would you please put your name on the name?
Dina Marie Wise.
Okay, and so today's date for the probation violation hearing. Council, do you have the sheet? Do you have the sheet, the handwritten sheet?
Your hand sheet.
Yes, the handwritten probation violation sheet that they do that's in the file.
I have a copy that was, I haven't seen that file. I see the version.
Yeah, that.
This was
This courtroom audio doesn't sound this horrid when I'm listening to it the first time. But you're going to hear her just fine. And you're going to wish you can't hear her.
No, it's right here. Oh, yeah, put it in the file. Okay. All right. So the allegations in this matter. So first, your client's on probation for possession of controlled substance. This is alleging technical violations 1 through 5. The last your client failed to appear for probation visit December 3rd, failed to appear for chemical awareness program on December 2nd, failed to appear for drug testing December 3rd, December 16th, and December 26th. And counsel?
That is correct, Your Honor. I discussed this with Ms. Wise. I've advised her of her to hearing this particular matter, and I've also advised her of her constitutional rights. Discussing this with Ms. Wise, my understanding that she will plead guilty to the violations, and through this plea, make the court's mercy because we all hear what's going on in your life.
Ms. Wise, please raise your right hand.
I want to go out and buy a great big pair of oversized glasses now.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. And you heard the allegations that were placed on the record, correct?
Pardon?
You heard the allegations that were placed on the record, correct?
Yes.
I'm under the letter. And as to those allegations, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
And you've gone over your request of rights for probation violation purposes, correct?
I have, yes.
And you understand all of these rights.
I do.
We all might get contact high from her. She is so high or so drunk. So if you're starting to feel a little woozy, she's getting you drunk just by looking at her.
And you also understand by entering into plea to be waiving some of those rights.
Yes.
You also understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea to this probation violation. And the recommendation is for your under advisement status to be revoked, your probation to be revoked, case closed without improvement, $50 probation violation fee, and 20 days jail. Do you understand that's the recommendation?
Yes.
And knowing all that, you will continue with your plea.
I do.
Has anybody promised you anything, threatened you, or forced you in any way to enter into a plea today?
No.
All right.
Thank you. Ms. White, you're placed on probation in this court, is that correct?
Yes.
And as part of the terms and conditions of your probation, you were to attend probation meetings, chemical awareness program, and submit to drug.
Bonjour. Charlotte's here. And can I point out, CJ was first today. She beat everybody.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And on December 3rd, did you fail to appear for probation?
I did.
And on December 2nd, did you fail to attend a chemical awareness program?
I did.
And on December 3rd, did you also fail to submit to a drug test?
I did.
Then did you fail to submit to drug testing on the 16th and the 26th of December as well?
Yes.
Been satisfied, Your Honor.
The court is also satisfied that he is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the probation violation, indicate technical violations 1 through 5 will enter. And also pass the recommendation.
Your Honor, the whole last year, speaking Ms. Wise has been somewhat of a disaster. She's trying to get her life turned around. She's trying to get everything straightened out within her life. Her family life is basically going to extreme language hell. In the last month or two, her husband, who is her sole support, pays all the bills, takes care of all the business. They have now finally separated. She has no money to file for divorce. He comes and goes, doesn't take care of anything except himself, it appears. He lost 2 jobs over the last few months. In fact, she last lost her job approximately a month ago. She is trying to get employed, but more importantly, she's trying to get her head turned down straight. She knows she needs these programs. The recommendation is to revoke and also to revoke the under advisement status. If that happens, then of course there'll be not only the other consequences from this court, but also this could now affect her driving license because of the drug getting there. She is trying to get another work. She has an appointment scheduled to enter into some sort of self-employment arrangement. She's meeting with, I guess, her niece.
My cousin.
Who is a paralegal to help draw the paperwork. This is, and I'm just reviewing what I reviewed. She's been on probation for approximately, I'm sorry, Your Honor. When she was on probation?
March.
March. Yeah, February.
March. And the first time she violated probation, or, you know,
She's really, really, really drunk or high right now. You'll see. She's going to start talking.
there's been violations, so we are, here she's been struggling through all of these 9 months. I know there's things that have to be done, I don't know what it is.
I need that. I want a whole Amazon house that I have to drive through just to get all of my packages. That's a hard problem to have.
Revoking her advising status, putting her in jail, and revoking probation is the appropriate way to go. If the court feels because of this that there is a need for some sort of jail review, or at least jail, ending her probation is not going to solve the question. Just put her in jail and she'll owe you money. I'm asking rather that probation be continued, that the under advising status be continued, and she be able to turn herself around, get a job, at least get the support she's owed from her husband so she can make these payments, and suspend it in jail sentence.
Okay, let me ask these questions to you, ma'am.
Yes.
Have you been attending the fan meetings?
I have not. I haven't. And I apologize. I have never.
Excuse me, is yes or no? No, yes or no? Have you had any mental health counseling?
No, I have not. I've seeked out someone, and I'm pretty sure it's just money. I don't have any money.
No. Yeah.
Yes,
Do you have any health insurance?
I do have health insurance. So the counseling, which I know I need.
Infuriating in a second. It makes you so mad.
Immensely. She is seeing if my insurance, which I have Aetna through the state, to see if she will accept that. I really like this.
Yeah. When did you start that process?
This around Christmas time.
Okay, well, you started in March.
I know.
Counsel, your client hasn't done anything. She has done zero. And in fact, the court even at sentencing indicated mandatory revocation of under advisement status for any violation. So, when's the last time you saw your probation officer, ma'am?
I seen her last year, December. No, excuse me. Oh, November. In November, and I was supposed to see her in December. It's been extremely hard the past 2 months. So my gas got shut off. It's nobody's problem. I take accountability. I just know I don't deserve anything. I don't deserve it. However, I believe I'm worth it. I've never given it a chance.
So your client, other than meeting with probation once a month, has done nothing. And quite honestly, I think the violation should have come forth a little bit sooner regarding not attending fan meetings and not even having mental health counseling.
May I have another chance? I know I can do it. I don't hurt anybody. I don't bother anybody. And I just have always been hard-headed as far as what people think I need. But sometimes people know what's best for me, you know?
I know exactly what you mean. Exactly. Yeah. But, Judge, you don't understand. Her husband, who was the sole source of all of her income, left her. And now she doesn't have any money because she doesn't work. So it's really not her fault.
And I'm just ready to do that. I'm ready 100%.
Okay, good. I'm going to order 20 days jail. I'll suspend 15. She's going to serve 5. And we'll continue probation. Under advisement status is revoked per the court's previous order of probation. And
Your Honor, would the court reconsider that aspect of it?
no.
I don't have any.
But yes, the court will reconsider that. She's just been sentenced to 5 days in jail.
Anybody to take care of me. I don't have anything. Please. Please. Yes.
What do you need? What do you need somebody to take care of?
My home, everything. Just everything.
Well,
Could you please reconsider, please? Like I said, I don't deserve it. I know I don't.
excuse me. Let me just clarify here. You haven't done any of your mental health counseling.
But I will.
You have stop. It's my turn to speak.
Okay.
When I crafted your sentence, I took into account all of your needs. I crafted the sentence according to your needs.
Okay.
You blew a lot of those needs off. You didn't go to your fan meetings. You didn't attend mental health counseling. And for the month of December, you pretty much did nothing you were supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm a jerk.
Please stop. You were given the benefit of the under advisement status, and I ordered at that time, if there are any violations, you are going to lose that under advisement status. So, you now have 5 violations. I absolutely am not going to continue the under advisement status. You had much notice, and quite frankly, you should feel fortunate in the sense that you weren't before the court previously for probation violations because you were not attending PAN and you were not attending mental health counseling. And you have insurance.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to order 20 days jail and suspending 15. You can report Friday, January 10th. That gives you a couple days to arrange for somebody to take care of your house.
Okay.
You're going to continue your probation. I'm also going to extend it. Six months from your original end date.
Okay.
All right, Charlotte, you see that little poop symbol? Right? So my phone has this new thing when I make phone calls. You know you can make real regular phone calls on a phone? I know, it's crazy. Well, I can send sound emojis. So I just figured this out today. I can send sound emojis when I make a phone call. So I sent one to my son, of course. That symbol right there. The poop symbol. I wanted to know what sound emoji they were going to send him. And you know what they sent him? They sent him an upside down chocolate ice cream cone that fell down. It went. That was the sound emoji for poop. So now I don't trust sound emojis anymore because they're all lies.
You should enroll in mental health counseling
Okay.
within 24 hours of today, because you know when you're going to be out of jail.
Okay. Pardon, what was the order did you just say?
You are to enroll in mental health counseling within 24 hours. So,
Okay.
for today, you need to email into your probation officer with the date of your training with your mental health provider.
Okay.
And I'm going to go on a limb here and ask if you perform any of your community service hours.
have not.
I didn't think so.
I don't know. I apologize sincerely. I do. I know you've heard it all.
You are to attend the fan meetings beginning Thursday, January 16th. No excuses, ma'am. Zero.
Okay.
Zero. One more violation, ma'am. And it's all out the window. You're serving the balance of your 15 days and any other case of this court at time.
Okay.
If
May I?
you were to test right now, it's in your system. If you were to test right now, what is in your system?
There's no alcohol and maybe some Adderall. I'm just completely lost. That's all. That's honest.
Are you prescribed Adderall?
I am not.
Okay.
I am not.
So here's what I'm going to do, counsel. I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to have your client serve the 15 days. It's been fine. Which is to be titled treatment to the Wayne County Jail. That will be a jump start on her treatment that she needs so desperately. That she's also indicating that she really wants.
So she did in fact reconsider like they asked her to.
Senior Court date.
Oh. Your Honor. Your Honor.
Yes.
May I say that I've never had trouble with drugs. Once in a while, I'll, get down on myself and do something. My thing is, and please hear me, my thing is trauma. I haven't dealt with it. That's my thing. It's not drugs. It's trauma. And then trauma for me leads to me being irresponsible, like so as today. And from the time I've seen you with this case, it's the trauma and I deflect all of the time. It's not drugs. It's me, a personal thing in my head, things that have happened to me in my past and they're extreme. And I just feel like everybody goes at the wrong thing with me when I'm telling you now and just sort of reaching out for help when it comes to I need counseling. I desperately need counseling, and I know if I go to like these meetings like you're talking about and asking me to go to and ordering me to go to, I know I have to give forth and put effort. I know I do, and I want to. I'm 46 years old, and I've never admitted that I need counseling and I need help because I'm okay. I can put things down. I can leave things alone. I just don't deal with my trauma, and I need help with that. It's always been ignored my whole entire life since I was a little girl, since I was 5 years old. Just ignore it and kind of go for what the big thing that's in everybody's face. But I'm here telling you as a woman, and I know my position in life, but I just need help with my trauma. I have a lot of trauma.
Okay, Danielle, I can appreciate that.
Oh, it's hard to hear you. It's hard to hear you.
I said I can appreciate that. However, you were afforded not
Your Honor, I took my phone on the charger. I apologize. I'm taking you with me. And it's hard to hear you because, yeah. What's going on?
So, ma'am,
Okay.
you were afforded an
Okay.
opportunity. You were afforded
There you
you were afforded an opportunity, ma'am, Okay, I don't really want to look into your account, please.
I know. I know. I know I was.
And
Like I said,
let me speak.
I'm not
Please let me speak. But before I do that, have you ever lived in Florida?
Okay.
Have you? Okay.
I've been to Florida, yes.
Do you have another last name that you're going by?
My maiden name?
Yes. Which one is?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
So, you're not in the store if you don't have a drug problem, that drugs is in your thing. However, there are some drug convictions in Florida. And you're here for possession of controlled substance charge. And
there, it was drug paraphernalia. It wasn't an actual drug.
man, you're deflecting, right? So you see that you can do that. Your coping is deflecting, and you continue to deflect. So I'm going to have you, and you're going to report to Wayne County Jail on Friday. You're going to serve 15 days. You're going to be tethered to treatment. The court's going to suspend 5. Your under advisement is revoked because, quite frankly, I'm not sure how you even got the under advisement since you have prior drug convictions from Florida. But in any event, that's recommended because perhaps that wasn't caught the first time. I don't know. However, all the other things that I stated are going to remain, except for the fan meeting. You obviously won't be able to attend that. You need to attend the fan meeting beginning in December, probably February.
Okay,
If you do not report to jail on Friday, the warrant will be issued for your arrest. So you're going to,
I understand.
you're going to email into Ms. Shine, and she will give you the instructions as how to report. Okay?
Okay.
So I expect that you'll be at the February 20th fan meeting.
February 20. Okay. Your Honor, I would like to apologize to you for if it seems I'm being disrespectful and ugly.
No, no help necessary. You're fine.
Yeah.
All right. Email him to Shine by 1:30.
Thank you. Good
Today.
luck.
Yes, today.
Okay, I'll email her. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, how's it going?
Yeah, I thought there would be more because she just threw her camera down. I thought we'd hear her in the background, but we did not. Oh, that poor thing, guys. That poor thing. You know what? Let's do a literal, actual dumpster fire. Let's do that. Please sound be okay, please. Sounds good. Hi, Judge.
Yeah, Mr.
I do.
Okay, Mr. Bruner asked, you had sent me a motion asking for a plea hearing today, correct? Next matter is 24 CRB 1357, State of Ohio versus Ronald Bruner. Mr. Bruner is present without counsel. Ms. Davidson here on behalf of the Law Director's Office. And we're scheduled for a plea hearing today on a charge of criminal mischief. Mr. Bruner, is it Bruner? Is that you said?
Yes, sir.
You wish to change your plea to guilty here today?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. You understand you're waiving your right to an attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you sign this change of plea form?
I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand it?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay. You understand by pleading guilty today, you're waiving your right to a trial, either to a jury or to the court.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. At a trial, You'll be able to call witnesses to testify on your behalf, subpoena witnesses to force them to appear here and testify, and present evidence in your own behalf. You understand you're giving up those rights today?
I understand, Your Honor.
Okay. You understand you're giving up the right to question any witnesses that the state would have against you.
I do, Your Honor.
And finally, understand you're giving up the right to have the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt you did in fact commit this offense.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Your Honor.
You know, I'm just mad that none of my children will go to this level to take care of me. None of them will just do this in case I needed a screw. Nope, they wouldn't.
So, recount the facts, please.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Actually, in the evening hours of September 7, 2024, the defendant, Ronald Bruner, in the city of Newark, Licking County, Ohio, was seen, and it is also captured on video, that he had a screwdriver and that he was removing screws from a fence that was located at the Hoover Street Apartments. He said that he wanted to remove all the screws to see if his family needed the screws. He could help them and give them the screws.
Thank you, Fozzie. Thank you, thank you. So this guy was removing the screws from a fence around an apartment complex because he thought the screws could help his family. He was going to give the screws to his family to help them out. They did not live in this apartment complex. But, yeah. But my kids have never once went out and took the screws off of a fence for me in case I needed a screw. And I just maybe raised them wrong.
Upon talking to the police officer,
It gets worse though, guys. It gets worse.
he believed that he was under the influence of some sort of narcotic. He didn't damage the fence itself. That's why he's charged with criminal mischief. They just had to put all the screws back into the fence and put it back together. He was then charged accordingly. As the complaint states, it states September 8th. However, I think on or about includes September 7th in the late hours, which is when the crime actually occurred.
Okay. Based on that, accept Mr. Bruner's guilty plea as being voluntarily and intelligently made.
Fozzie, you got Glenda. Yay.
Know what his rights are. I'll find him guilty of criminal mischief. Ms. Davidson, you have a recommendation.
And I think while I was looking at that, he said it. There was also a dumpster that was lit on fire while he was around that vicinity. It doesn't matter. What if I need more?
Your Honor, there was some confusion too over a drill during this incident. The drill was thought to belong to somebody in that apartment complex. It turned out it was not. It did not belong to the individual who they believed it did. Mr. Bruner said it was his brother's. The police didn't think that it was because they saw him going in and out of different apartments, but they did not locate a victim with regard to the drill itself. He was going around the Hoover Apartments, seemed confused, disassociated, which is why the police suspected he was under the influence of some narcotic. He didn't damage, like I said, any of the property of the Hoover Street Apartments, but he was obviously causing concern, and he was messing with their property and had no legal right, of course, to do so. They also saw him around a dumpster that was set on fire. They were concerned about that as well. With that, Your Honor, Mr. Bruner has a very long criminal history. I don't think he's amenable to probation. I would just ask that he be subjected to a short jail stint. I would recommend 10 days with no probation. Thank you.
say anything today?
I had to say, there's definitely, it's a little off, but I was definitely under substances, Your Honor. Been struggling with them most of my life, family background and whatnot. Been doing pretty good the past 3 years. I mean, if you look at my record, I think in the last 3 years, it's
Hello, it's so nice to have you here.
pretty much trickled down to almost nothing like that. You know, I'm not saying it's nothing, but I think I got 8 felonies on there. I've been in prison 4 times, you know. Been work. I got my license back in 22 for the first time in my life. I've been staying in contact with Judge Stansberry on trying to get my fines paid off and whatnot. I keep falling back in there a little bit and losing my ground. I recently put myself into, it's called White Light Behavior Health in Columbus, 4040 Broad Street up there. The ladies in the parking lot brought me down here today from the facility. I got 27 days in there right now, you know, clean and sober off substances. The next phase, I'm able to go find work. They help give me the work, everything like that. So if a jail sentence imposed, I don't know what would come about that with her being in the parking lot and me continuing that program.
Are you living at this facility?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is somebody here with you today?
Yes, she's out in the parking lot.
Oh, okay.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I have a letter from them.
Yeah, Birding, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Send a letter in. Yes,
Okay.
sir. It's my,
Hold on, Fletcher. You don't know that yet. If you're not subscribed, you should be. I am. It's awesome. It's so awesome. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to play just a tiny little bit right now of one of yours so that they can hear how awesome it is. I'm going to go. Listen. Hold on. I must have it. I do. I have it muted.
Or a thing from Temu.
Oh my
ever.
gosh.
And you might think, what on earth did you buy? But it's done Christmas. It's done the household.
Did you hear that? You should really subscribe. It's awesome. Could you imagine falling asleep to that? It's amazing. But anyway, back to chaos. Dumpster fires.
therapist there.
Okay, so you went on the 9th. So you've been living there since the 9th?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They come down, picked me up, and took me up there.
Okay. So what are you doing? What are you doing there? Residential treatment?
Yeah, inpatient, residential. We
Yeah.
got 6 hours of classing a day.
Okay.
Live there, eat there, therapist sessions. And I believe like maybe Tuesday or Wednesday I'll go to the next phase, which is like an apartment complex. There's like three individuals live in like a certain apartment, like half a double. They pick you up in the morning in a van, take you to another facility for like 8 hours of class in a day. Which I've had a lot of treatment. It's more that I want to get on track. Judge Stansberry just removed all the revokes from my license or whatnot, so I can get my license 450 reinstatement feedback. And yeah, I just kind of fell down there for about 5-6 months, walking around stupid. I should have just stayed out of Newark. Really is what I needed to do, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I'm coming to realize that more and more. All my family's here, and I just want to.
So, Judge Stansberry did not order him to go to this rehab. He went on his own. I know. That poor judge. All right, so let's see what happens when he goes to see his family in Newark.
Come back down here, and then I always end up getting high with them, and you know, I've been stuck in this.
Well, that was my question. You got family in Newark then?
Yeah, and they just, you know, they do what they do, and I don't fit into what they do, and I keep trying to fit in to what they do. I think I finally realized that a little bit, you know.
Okay. So how did you find this program? How did you get into it?
I was homeless for about 2 months, and I stopped at the Warming Center down there across from the old Circle K on West Main, and I got to talking to them and everything. You know, they fed us.
They had somebody there from the place.
Yeah, and I got to talking to her, and she's like, "Well, they can come down and pick you up tonight." You know, 'cause I was going to go to the lighthouse down here, and like I kept calling, kept getting busy for the receptionist. I couldn't get a hold of them. They said I had to call. Went in the front door, he couldn't do nothing. I had to call. And and then that lady put me in touch with Nathaniel up there. He come down, picked me up from the library down there that night, and got me up there.
All right, now he's going to think about this because this is all good stuff, really, really good stuff. So he has a decision to make. If he puts him in jail, everything he's doing with this white light program goes away. It's gone. And then he's down at the bottom again. Also, so Welsh Lady Reads is amazing. We also have another one that's equally as amazing. And I'm going to play a little bit of this one too. And if you're not subscribed, you really should be. Let's do, I'm not going to do the kitten because apparently I don't say that word right. So I'm going to go with Twas. The Twas video.
And away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. The down. See, I think what he's trying to say here is like a dandelion that you blow on and all the little seeds scatter, but I've never done that with a thistle, although probably a dandelion is a type of thistle. Yeah, there we go. But I heard him
There we go. So you have Welsh and Australian, and they're so good. They're so good. CJ. All right.
So when's your residential portion of this over?
The residential portion will be over like Wednesday.
Yeah. And then you're into some sober living or something, or what?
It was called BHP.
What's that?
BHP, Behavior Health something.
Behavioral Health Partners, you know.
Maybe it's called that. Something like that. I know the last one's like IOP, but I'll be in the same facility. It's where they put you in there. It's like a little apartment, kind of like
So you're
sober
moving
living.
to an apartment after Wednesday, or you think that's what's going to happen?
Right.
Where is
that's what's
that?
going to happen. That's
Where
the next stage.
Where is it?
It's in Columbus. The apartments is 4300 Broad Street. Instead, yeah,
Okay. So
4300.
it's right down. It's on this
Yeah, it's close to where I'm
couple
at.
blocks away.
There's constant,
It's run by White Light or somebody else.
yeah, white light. There's constant BTs, behavior therapists on site.
Yeah.
You know, they see me every day, take me to a group, things like that.
May I suggest Fox in Socks by Dr. Seuss?
Supposed to be 30 days. In the last portion, I'll be in the same place, but it's a 30-day process too. I'm just trying to really, I was out here homeless and apparently, being mischief, create mischief, just try to get out of that environment and change my environment.
Yeah, obviously you were under the influence of something.
Yeah.
Well, do you know where the impact driver came from?
Yeah, that was my brother's.
It was?
Yeah, and I believe the police kept it or left it on the side
Yeah,
of the
they
road.
kept it, I think.
Yeah, so I never did get that back.
Okay.
My brother.
No, it wasn't from his brothers. It wasn't. The police, I guess the camera has him going into different houses of this apartment complex. He didn't steal anything, but he happened to have an impact driver to unscrew the little screws.
Was coming at me for that. It was pretty neat when you charged yourself.
I'm sure.
Copyright
They
laws.
got charged with theft, but they didn't know where it was from, so they couldn't do that.
Yeah, it was definitely my brother's though.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so when you move to this apartment, what are you going to be doing then? Do you have daily stuff? You going to work? What's going on? What do you have a program that you know what the schedule is? Tell me that stuff.
Yeah, so the van picks picks us up. I guess it's 2 vans from what I've been told. They pick us up every morning at a little group spot there. They're going to take us to another facility where we'll have groups from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock with like little breaks in between. But it's like a big group room thing that we stay there till then.
Okay.
The vans take us back at 4 o'clock, and then it's like, whatever we need to get done after that. If we want to find a little part-time job, if we want to do community service, work on ourselves somehow,
How long is that part of it?
That's 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah.
And then what's the next?
It's going to be in the same spot. All on that.
It's outpatient after that, or
It's still the inpatient in that facility.
after the 30, that 30 days?
Yeah.
So where will you be living then?
Same spot. Yeah, they won't move me from that, like have a double thing. But then it changes to, I only got group from 8 in the morning till 12, with the weekends off on the last stage of it, which is also 30 days, but they said I could stay there up to 6 months.
Okay.
Get my employment going, give me another vehicle, things like that. Baby's fine down a little bit. I got here, out of the environment, and off drugs. Random drug testing on site all the time.
Yeah, it says you've been testing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Says. Okay, so almost a month of testing.
Yeah. I think they got me a couple times. I was trying to get clean down here on the street, but it didn't work. I didn't have no permanent, I might have worked out. I was a couple days without no substances in me when I walked into that warming center down there. So
Yeah.
it was kind of a faint line showed up when they first tested me up there. So I almost did it without, rolling myself somewhere. But it probably wouldn't have lasted, I'd imagine.
And then the Savior comes.
When did you get out of prison?
2019.
You had a parole violation, you didn't go back?
No, I had a couple of them, different programs.
You don't have another pending case, do you?
No, sir.
Felony court? No.
No, it was dismissed.
Dismissed.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
may I?
Go ahead.
I don't know if this helps the situation, but listening to Mr. Bruner, I would actually like to change my recommendation to the
Okay.
court.
Okay.
I was not aware.
Oh, you didn't see the letter?
No, I didn't see anything. I wasn't aware of
Yeah.
everything that he's done.
Yeah, he
And the-
wrote me from the white light place.
And the last thing I want to do is bring him back to Newark
Yeah,
and put him in jail because that will not serve him.
yeah.
And he's doing the right thing now, and I want him to stay there. I'm afraid if he comes over here and has to go to jail, he'll be released back out onto the street and lose his way again.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. Seeing you didn't actually damage anything.
No,
I would
he
be
did
I would be
not.
more concerned if you had done some property damage that these
Right.
people had to pay for.
No,
Obviously, your record's terrible. You know that. Sounds like you're trying to do something right. Good thing you ran into these people. Maybe I don't know anything about this place, but if you're not doing drugs, that's the good thing. That's what needs to happen. Okay, I'll impose court costs.
I don't do drugs, Your Honor.
2 days jail, 2 days credit. Anything further?
no, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Good luck.
with me.
1,000.
Okay. Okay, we're going to go to Judge Cristofino for a minute because he says something here. It's 6 minutes long, but I know. Now we know that we can just run around unscrewing everything and nothing's going to happen to us. Don't let him near any amusement parks. Jeez. He, in fact, was not screwed. The prosecutor unscrewed him. Okay, we're going to Judge Cristofino because he says something here that I don't like. And I don't know. I don't know. See if you guys think the same thing I think. He's just giving out wise words to someone young.
243, State of Indiana versus Jaden Stepp. Mr. Stepp, raise your right hand. You swear affirm under the pains and penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
I do.
State your name.
Jaden Stepp.
So the defendant appears in person by his attorney, Chief Deputy Public Defender Bridget Faulkner, State of Indiana, in court by Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Don Pitzer. Mr. Stepp, you appear for sentencing having pled guilty to battery resulting in moderate bodily injury, a level 6 felony. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you waived your right to appeal your conviction and sentence in this case?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the pre-sentence investigation report?
No, sir.
Your Honor, it was filed late Friday. The holiday, he has not seen it, given the fact that this is a stipulated sentence. If Mr. Stepp's comfortable going forward, I certainly am.
Yeah, Mr. Stepp, here's the deal. It's a stipulated plea. Do you want to go forward with sentencing today?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Faulkner, any amendments to the pre-sentence investigation report that you know of?
Not that I know of, no.
Mr. Stepp, any amendments to your
You have to steal an impact driver while you're there first.
pre-sentence investigation report that you're aware of?
What's amendments mean?
Any corrections? In other words, did probation write something down wrong and you need to make it right?
He hasn't seen it, so
Pardon?
he hasn't seen it.
Oh, he's not seen it. I got you. Okay. Mr. Pitzer, any amendments?
No.
Arguments, go ahead.
We would just ask that you sentence Mr. Stepp in accordance with the agreement.
Mr. Pitzer.
I have nothing to add.
Mr. Stepp, what do you want to tell me before you get sentenced?
I just want to say that what I did was wrong, and moving forward, I don't plan on doing nothing like that ever again, because jail and prison and stuff like that is not where I want to be. I actually want to do something in my life positive, so.
Okay, here we go. Judge Cristofino is about to start giving him some advice.
That's all.
Well, you're a very young man, but you are a young man, and you've sat here most of the day, if not all day, and seen person after person who is older than you and started out, listen to me, just like you're starting out. And you're not going to get to come back and see me a lot. You're just not. But you don't want to come back and see whoever replaces me either.
What does that mean? Guys, what does that mean? I really don't want Judge Cristofino to step down. I just don't. I love watching him. I don't show you guys all of his, he has long dockets every day. He does 8, 9, 10-hour dockets every day. And then he goes and throws those words at me like nothing, like it's nothing. Is he retiring? Is that what that means? Or am I just making up a rumor? Because I do make up rumors. Like, remember, Bill's stream is ending? Or something like that. I also think I said something that I didn't care about the wildfire or something. Because I got a nasty comment today saying that I don't care about the wildfire. I don't know. I don't remember saying that. I'm very scared for everybody there. But that's what I do. I create rumors. And that's what I'm creating, a rumor that he's leaving. I don't want him to leave.
There'll be a new judge here. You just spending your life in front of judges, Mr. Stepp, it is not a good life, and it's not fun. You got a chance right now. This is a very favorable plea agreement. You've got a chance to turn things around and get on the right path and spend no more time with judges.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
Your Honor, before you sentence, I would just ask that the transfer of probation be authorized. You live in Monroe County, correct?
Clark County.
Clark County, excuse me.
Clark County, Indiana.
Yes, sir.
Jaden Stepp, I now sentence you pursuant to a plea bargain agreement on battery resulting in moderate bodily injury, a level 6 felony, to 1 year at the Indiana Department of Corrections suspended and 1 year on reporting probation. Defendant ordered to report to probation immediately following this hearing downstairs in the basement, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Court orders that probation be transferred from Elkhart County to Clark County, Indiana. Defendant ordered to pay the costs of this matter. Defendant fined $1,000. That fine is suspended. Defendant ordered to pay a $200 public defender fee to the clerk of the court. What about restitution? Any restitution?
There is not. I actually do have a message on that. Thank you.
Court finds the defendant will not be indigent because he's going to be employed on probation. Court advises the defendant the law does not allow, and this court will not incarcerate the defendant for failure to pay fines and costs if the defendant is indigent. Defendant ordered to provide a DNA sample at his cost pursuant to statute if he's not already done so. Defendant given credit for having served 43 actual days in custody plus good time credit. The sentence in this case is consecutive to 10 CO4 2201 JD6. Bond is released. Appointment of the public defender's office is withdrawn. Order of suspended commitment is entered. And defendant ordered to report to probation immediately following this hearing. Cost coming on for sentencing. Defendant appears in person by his attorney, Chief Deputy Public Defender Bridget Faulkner, State of Indiana, in court by Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Don Pitzer. Pre-sentence investigation report is approved. Court hears arguments from counsel. Court has a statement from the defendant. Defendant now sentenced pursuant to his plea bargain agreement on battery resulting in moderate bodily injury, level 6 felony, to 1 year at the Indiana Department of Correction, all suspended, and 1 year on reporting probation. Defendant ordered to report to probation immediately following this hearing. This case on probation will be transferred.
I was not. I would love to just summon an impact drill whenever I needed one.
To Clark County, Indiana. Defendant given credit for having served 43 actual days in custody plus good time credit per statute. This is consecutive to defendant's sentence in 10 CO4 2201 JD6. Bonds released. Appointment of the public defender's office withdrawn. Order suspended commitment is entered, and defendant is ordered to immediately report to probation as so ordered. Now you're going to go downstairs all the way in the basement. You're going to go around, make a U-turn around the stairs, go under the stairs, great big door that says probation, tell them you just got sentenced up here and you're on probation, and get signed up right now, young man, so you don't screw up and miss being signed up for probation, okay? Watch your step at that swinging door.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere, Judge. Don't go anywhere.
That's it for me.
Okay. Construction or rancher? Construction or rancher? Let's go with construction.
All right. Mr. Mason, Ms. Snowden, if you will turn on your cameras. All right. Mr. Kane, this is your case, so go right ahead.
Yes, Judge. Can I swear my client in, Ms. Pickett? Is that okay with you?
It is. If she will turn on her camera. Yes.
Ms. Pickett, will you raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you provide in the matter pending before the court today be the whole truth, nothing but the truth? You got to unmute yourself.
I did.
Okay. All right, Ms. Pickett, tell the court Did you retain the Masons Company, these individuals, the business name in this matter, to do some renovations to your home?
I did, yes.
And this was a bit a while ago now. It looks like it was back on or about, let me get the exact date here. December 2021, is that correct?
Yeah,
Around,
about.
and the renovations were supposed to take place to a bathroom as well as a kitchen, is that right?
Yes.
And those renovations were not done properly, and you had to go back and retain somebody else's services to correct what was done. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. So you paid them around.
So, she is the homeowner. She is suing her. She is the business owner, a construction company or handyman. I don't know, whatever you call them. I need in this house badly, and he is the worker. He is her employee, and that is the judge.
$7,995. Is that correct?
Roughly.
Roughly. And since that time frame, did you tell the court what, if anything, issues you had associated with the work they performed?
Yes, I will. Upon completion of the bathroom, originally I didn't have the concerns that I have now because at that specific time, the damages weren't clear at that particular time. And also I'm not a contractor, so certain things I didn't really even know what to necessarily look at. For example, to this day, when they painted the bathroom, they used marker to mark where they were going to put the mirrors in the bathroom. And a few days or a week later, again, this is two years ago at this point. So if I have my dates or timing slightly off, I do apologize for that. But I recall it being a week or two after the bathroom was completed that the paint and everything dried, and then the marker started bleeding through the paint. As the paint began to dry, I began to see more and more imperfections. At the time, my sink, Jabreed installed my sink. At the time of completion, and I'm not a contractor, I did not know that my sink had only been sealed 3 out of the 4 sides. I didn't know that at first glance. It wasn't until, things started happening down the line and then having another contractor come in. At the same time that this was going on, I had a different contractor. I had also finished my basement, and I had a different contractor finish my bathroom downstairs. And he's the one that's going to be fixing all of their work.
All right, let me stop you there. You submitted some invoices to the court.
Yeah.
And one of them is from General Contracting, DMB General Contracting LLC.
Yeah.
Is that correct? And that's
correct.
For the hall bath on the main level. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. And then as time went on.
Let me stop you there. Let me just go through this invoice. The invoice amount is $5,650. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that's what's going to cost to do basically complete the hall bathroom and put it in the way it was supposed to be done initially by the defendants in this matter. Is that correct?
Right. Yes.
So you're asking the court to award you that $5,650 pursuant to that invoice. Is that correct?
Correct.
You also provided some photographs attached to that as well to the court. And those are the photographs that you took that accurately depict the condition of your bathroom after the work, or the attempted work by the defendants were performed, and the work that needs to be corrected by the GMB General Contractors LLC. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. You also submitted another estimate from the kitchen sink. There were some issues with the kitchen sink. Is that correct?
Yes, it was only sealed. The sink was only sealed on 3 out of the 4 sides. And because when the kitchen remodel was done, I had a separate contractor do epoxy on the countertop. And because it's not sealed on that 3rd side, water has gotten in there and it's begun to lift really, really badly. So now had it been done correctly, none of this would be happening. But now they can't just epoxy one part of the countertop. They actually have to epoxy the entire thing. That invoice is also for electrical work in the bathroom, because the electrical in that bathroom that they did, because they did split me from one lighting to two lighting, started to flicker. When I had an electrician come look at it, they said it was not wired to code, and they're wanting to redo it, but they're going to have to demo the back wall on the closet. Basically, going to have to rewire my entire bathroom at this point.
Okay. And you're referencing the same invoice that is dated August 22nd, 2022 from GMB General Contractors. That's the $5,650 amount that you're indicating that includes both the bathroom and the kitchen work that needs to be done to correct work performed by the defendants and to complete the job. Is that correct?
Correct.
So you also have another estimate to you, and looks like it's from it's dated January 12th, 2022, and it's to remove and replace the existing garbage disposal, certain kitchen work, sinkhole faucets, all in the $645. Is that to complete the work that was supposed to be done by the defendants in this matter?
Yes.
Okay. So you're seeking from the defendants. You paid them monies to do the work which they did not perform. Is that correct?
They didn't perform it up to code and the way that it's
in a workmanlike manner. Is that correct?
correct.
And you have estimates that indicate that has been provided to the court. So you're asking the court to basically award you to complete the job and repair the work performed that is needed of $5,650. Is that correct?
That's one invoice.
Correct. We'll get to the next one.
Okay.
And then the other invoice is $645. Is that correct?
I think that invoice for $645 is the invoice that they charged me
Okay.
to do the thing. But I have an invoice for two different contractors. One is for the they basically have to reinstall the vanity because they left gaps in the vanity. There's a bunch of stuff. That invoice, and then the second invoice is for the second contractor to redo the epoxy work and to do the electrical work, and that invoice is about $4,100.
All right. So, yeah, I have that here. You also provided this to the court. It's dated February 10th, 2024. Is that correct? And it's from Hands-On Remodeling.
Correct.
And it looks like it's like you just testified to, is to do re-epoxy the kitchen counter, to correct work that was supposed to be performed or somewhat was performed by the defendants. And that amount of that invoice is $4,299. Is that correct?
Correct.
And attached to that invoice, they did provide photographs, it looks like, what issues associated with the leaking and issues associated with the work that was performed by the defendants. Is that correct?
Correct.
So that's the invoice. You're seeking that amount, that $4,299, plus the $5,650. Is that correct?
Correct.
Plus the court costs in this matter. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And you're also asking for reasonable attorney's fees pursuant to having to bring this action, which is clearly work that was not performed properly, that you had to go back and you're going to have to pay additional. You've been living with this since almost 3.5 years. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
The funds to correct it. So you're asking for reasonable attorney's fees in this matter in the amount of $750. Is that correct?
Right.
And that, you actually pay more attorney's fees than that. This is based on this being in the magistrate court and my amount of time in this matter. I'm just estimated just for appearing in court, not for preparing pleadings, and that's and this is just for the court's information, is 3 hours just court time. In this hearing and preparing for this hearing, my hourly rate is $250 an hour, which is reasonable based on my years of experience of practicing law in the state of Georgia since 2003. I'm licensed in the state of Georgia and South Carolina, appear in many magistrate courts throughout the state courts, superior court, and that's just my hourly rate, and that's I'm charging 3 hours in this case, based on the amounts that's being owed, and work that needed to be done and was not done. So. Ms. Pickett, anything else you want to add to this matter other than that's what we just provided?
Yeah, I guess I just would like to say that that whole experience was a nightmare, and I'm still dealing with it to this day. This is very unfortunate because the defendants are family that I gave a chance as young entrepreneurs, as being a businesswoman myself. I definitely trusted them to do the work, to do it timely. This whole situation felt like a money grab. I felt very taken advantage of 100% completely. It's ruined our relationship at this point. When all of this stuff started happening, I begged and pleaded with them to just fix it. Just fix it. Come back and just fix your work. And they simply refused to do so. And here we are. So I can go on and on with other little details of, like, for instance, I paid them to install a new sink, but we ordered a different sink 3 times because the measurements were never correct. They kept telling me, hey, order this sink. I ordered that sink. The sink didn't fit. It wasn't wrong. And because now my whole renovation was done and the only thing we were waiting to do was the sink so that I could go back to using my kitchen, we ended up reinstalling my old sink, but I was charged to install basically a new sink that didn't get installed. They just put new parts on my old sink. When I could go on and on. I mean, the pictures speak for themselves. The work.
And those are pictures that fairly accurately depict the work that was performed and the issues you're having as a result of the work that was performed and not done in workmanlike manner. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Let me ask you a question about yourself. Are you I believe you were a contractor for the Department of Defense. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you handle these type of issues on a regular basis at that time. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you're familiar with how things are supposed to be done and the work that need to be done in a workmanlike manner. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct.
And based on that experience, the work that was performed on your home and your bathroom and your kitchen was not done in that workmanlike manner. Is that correct?
Correct.
Anything else? I understand this is an unfortunate situation. You got family members involved. You gave them a chance. It's been a long process, and all you're asking here is just to put you back to where you were supposed to be.
All right, now it'll be their turn soon.
As a result of the contract that you had with the defendants. That contract, if you could explain to the court, was that a written contract or an oral contract?
No, it was written. We did invoices and things of that nature sent back and forth.
You say invoices, but did you have a scope of work that was needed to be done, or was it just renovate the bathroom and renovate the kitchen counter? What was the scope of work?
There was a scope of work with the bathroom.
Explain what that scope of work was.
With the bathroom, it was an entire bathroom remodel. I went from one vanity sink to 2 vanity sinks. So that I went from one lighting over the vanity to going to a double vanity with 2 lightings. We replaced the toilet, replaced the light fixtures, redid the flooring in the bathroom, painted the walls. The bed, I did not know, because one of the things that I was disgruntled about was the fact that we had a whole bathroom remodel, but yet the baseboards weren't painted, the ceiling wasn't painted. And when I confronted them about that, they were like, oh, in the contracting world, baseboards and ceilings aren't included. And I said, well, when you tell me a bathroom remodel, I'm not sure how I was supposed to know that we were excluding baseboards in the ceiling. And it was just a mess, quite honestly. It was just an entire mess. I also, in this time, asked them to provide me their insurance information because I was dissatisfied. I said, hey, I was under the impression that they were also licensed and bonded, that this was their business, that this is what they were doing. Did I specifically ask them for the license and bonding insurance information in the beginning? No, because I worked with Ms. Snowden previously, my niece previously, to help me pick out painting and stuff around the house previously. So there was a level of trust there. When they tell me they're licensed and bonded, they're having articles published about their business saying how studious they are. My niece is telling me she's quit her full-time job and this is not what they're doing. Quit her corporate job, this is what they're doing, going full-fledged ahead in their business. I trusted what she said from that aspect. But when all of this started to unravel, I asked several times, well, you guys have license and insurance. I can just go the insurance route. That was never provided to me either.
Right. And you did provide, there's 2 invoices here that you attached to your statement of claim and also provided to the court. One is for $5,100 and the other one is $2,250. Those are the invoices you were referencing regarding the work that was supposed to be done, work that was performed, and what you paid for. Is that correct?
Yes, and then there's an additional invoice for 600 something that was for the stinker. I want to say that for the stinker.
You testified to, and but you're seeking the correct work and put you back in the place that you were supposed to be based on the
Correct.
scope that was supposed to be done. That
Yeah.
and that's the $5,650 plus the $4,299 plus attorney fees of $750 and court cost of whatever, I can't remember what it is for DeKalb County and service fee. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, just what it's going to take to have this be corrected and fixed by people who are licensed and bonded.
All right. That's all the questions I have for you right now, but the defendants may have some questions and the judge may as well. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Before we get to the defendant's questions, Ms. Pickett, you said you were a contractor for the Department of Defense. What did you do?
I was an AI software trainer.
Okay, so not this type of work.
No, not that type of work. No.
Okay. All right. In that case, who wants to ask questions first? Mr. Mason, Ms. Snowden?
I'd like to speak first.
All right. So this is the way it works. You all are going to get to explain your side.
Now we don't like sherbet either. Jamie, I gotta know something. Do you like butter?
Case. You understand that? But before you get to do that, if you have questions for Ms. Pickett, if you have specific questions, it's not a conversation. It's not she says something and then you comment on it. Okay? If you have a specific question for her, now is your chance to ask her all of the questions you want to ask her. All right? So, do you have any questions for her, Mr. Mason?
I do have one.
Okay, go right ahead.
She mentioned that she reached out to GMB General Contracting in regards to getting us invoice for this bathroom work. I would like to ask when that was.
Okay, you can. So, Ms. Pickett, he's asking, when did you reach out to GNB for the general contracting work?
Whenever the invoice is dated for, probably a week or two prior to when that invoice was dated for. I would have to go back and if you want to give me 2 seconds, I can pull up that invoice date and then we can go 2 or 3 weeks prior to that. And that's
what he's asking. So if you can figure that out and answer his question.
Sure. This is dated August 2022, so I guess I would have to estimate maybe about a month prior, a couple weeks prior. Let's just say July 2022 to cover all bases.
Okay, any other questions, Mr. Mason?
I don't personally have any additional questions.
Okay, Ms. Snowden, any questions for Ms. Pickett?
Yes, I do have some questions. You mentioned that you reached out several times. You quoted, you begged and pleaded for us to come over and fix the things that were damaged. You only reached out to us one time. And when you reached
Ms. Snowden,
yes,
I'm going to ask you to ask a question. Sounds like you've got you haven't gotten to a question. If you want to testify, we're going to do that in a second.
Okay, when were the other times that you reached out to us asking us to come over to fix the issues that you are speaking of?
I reached out several times. March of 2022, April 2022, May, Brittany, me and Jabri, we went back and forth via text message for quite a while. Text messages, emails, we went back and forth quite a while about this. If you want exact dates, I will gladly go on mute and go on and pull up all the text message threads. But me and you and him went back and forth about this a bunch of times. It wasn't I asked you guys one time to come back and fix it. You say no.
So, Ms. Pickett,
No.
Ms. Pickett, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. So just answer the question she puts to you. You don't have to anticipate what she wants from you, just the questions she's asking.
Again, so when did we communicate about this? I want to say, again, March of 2022, April 2022, May 2022, June 2022, July 2022. We had quite a bit of communication about this over months. That's my answer.
Ms. Snowden, any other questions?
No, I don't have any further questions.
All right. In that case, we're going to turn.
I didn't do a damn thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is there anything else to present, Mr. Kane?
No, Judge. Thank you for your time. Yep.
So, Mr. Mason, you can go first, and now's your chance to tell me your side of what happened. Okay.
Okay.
Now it's your chance.
So to start off, yes, I was. I'm sorry, it's echoing. So to start off, yes, I was reached out to.
They were in the same car.
To perform this background work. As she pointed out, we did have an invoice that clearly stated what I was going to do and what was covered. Like she said, I didn't say, I was going to paint the trim and the ceiling and all. I never quoted her for that. I literally quoted her for painting walls, replacing the vanity, adding one additional light fixture, hanging 2 mirrors. The toilet came after the fact. That was just a complimentary deal while I was there. I didn't even charge her for replacing the toilet. So that $3,500 alone was the cost of her vanity. It's not like I made some big deal of money off this. I made roughly like $800 in the bathroom. 2, she stated that she reached out to GMB General Contracting.
CJ. Hey, CJ. Can you type in chat? Who do you like better, me or Fozzie? Type it in chat.
For this invoice, well, the funny thing is, I personally know GMB, that's George Michael Booker, and I know for a fact that she only reached out to him just so she could have some sort of invoice to try and.
Wrong answer. Try again. Who do you like better, me or Fozzie? Type it. Type it in chat.
Justify her point in court here. I've had that invoice from him personally for over 2 years now. And he has not performed any work. He's not going to perform any work. So I feel like that's another ploy for her to try and win over the court and get her way out of this situation. As far as her reaching out to us for several months after the fact, she didn't. And I say this because my son was born March of 2022. That was the last time I spoke to her because she called me while we were in the hospital.
I'm having a hard time watching him. I think he's walking around. So if he gets to stay stationary, that'd be easier to pay attention. Sorry.
My sister, is that all, Mr. King?
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's fine. So yes, if you can stay stationary, Mr. Mr. Mason.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
So my son was born March of 2022. She reached out to us while we were actually in the hospital awaiting delivery. And she had complaints. I told her now is not really a good time for that, but we speak about it. She ended up reaching out to, I guess, another plumber about her kitchen sink and then told me that I was going to pay her for paying him. And I told her that's not how I work. Had she communicated that to me, I would have came over there, fixed whatever the slight issue was. It was about a plumber's putty on the sink gasket. I would come over there and fix that at my earliest convenience. But she chose to pay him and then told me that I was going to pay her for that. That's not how that works. Following that, she wanted to, yes, go back and forth via text message. And I don't feel like that's something that I should be doing, especially when I also have the ability to communicate with her husband. So I blocked Mrs. Pickett. And I did not block Mr. Pickett because I would prefer that speaking to Mr. Pickett. Mr. Pickett never reached out to me. Mrs. Pickett had no way of reaching out to me. So we never had any other conversations, me and her. I know what her and Mrs. Snowden had communicated about. I'm not sure, but I don't think there was several conversations the way she's saying. Two, as far as I know, the kitchen sink wasn't originally on this lawsuit. I mean, they filed like 4 of them, so it's kind of hard to keep up with what's what, but I only recall there being invoices for the bathroom.
Okay,
So
is that it, Mr. Mason?
I feel like they're just trying to get money from things that they aren't personally happy with.
Mason?
Yes, sir.
Let me just, I'm really not trying to cut you off. I want to hear your side. But when you all start talking about how you feel or what you, I just need facts. I just need facts
Take it to the Wine Away tab, mister. Take it to the Wine Away tab.
from the case. Okay, so are there any other information you want to present, Mr. Mason?
No, that's all.
Okay, Mr. Kane, do you have any questions for Mr. Mason?
Yes, Judge, thank you. Mr. Mason, you contracted mostly and communicated mostly with Ms. Pickett in this matter, is that correct?
I contacted and spoke with both of them, especially in regards to the kitchen sink. That was all Mr. Pickett.
Okay. But you understood that most of the communications was with Ms. Pickett and the invoices were invoiced to her, correct?
That's not correct. Mr. Pickett paid me personally for the sink. I did more communication with the both of them. It wasn't one person or the other. We all sat down and had group meetings, like all 4 of us. There was not one person in charge versus the other person.
All right, but the person that started complaining to you was Ms. Pickett, and as a result of that, you blocked her. Is that correct?
She complained about the kitchen sink. Correct.
And you didn't like those complaints, so you blocked her, and then that's why we're here today mostly. Is that a fair statement?
No, that's not.
Okay. But you blocked her, and you did not communicate with her regarding the kitchen sink or any other issues she had associated with the work that you were supposed to perform. Is that correct?
I'll say that. I blocked her, correct. Yes.
Okay. So as a result of that, y'all didn't have any type of communication after you blocked her regarding issues and to correct those issues. Is that correct?
Between me and Mrs. Pickett, no, we did not have any more communication.
All right. And then you said something about GMB, General Contractors LLC. You indicated that you did not believe that they were going to complete the work, but you don't know that for sure. You have no evidence.
No, I do know that for sure. I do know
no evidence by the court, except your own personal opinion today that work is not going to be performed in this matter. Is that correct?
I have the same amount of evidence that you have to say that you're going to complete it, that he's going to complete it.
All right. But it is your testimony that you were hired by Ms. Pickett and her husband to do remodeling to the bathroom. Is that correct?
Bathroom, correct.
And the kitchen sink, you had some testimony about the kitchen sink. You talked to Ms. Pickett's husband about the kitchen sink, and that was the work supposed to be performed on that as well, correct?
Correct. Between me and Mr. Pickett, communication was held about the kitchen sink.
And there was some breakdown of some issues associated with that work that Ms. Pickett had, and she complained to you, and you blocked her. Is that correct?
If you want to keep putting it that way, that's not the way it went, but sure thing.
Okay. And there was, I guess it's a fair statement that as a result of that, there was a breakdown of communication between you and Ms. Pickett regarding this contract.
It sucks when you don't have insurance. It sucks when you can't get what you need. You have to bootleg them. There's no other. You have no other choice sometimes, and it just sucks. It just sucks.
Tracking work.
Yeah, there was a breakdown in communication.
And you weren't paid money by.
It would. I think so. I think it would. I bet you he would feel so pretty in this shirt. I think I should just ship this to Fozzie. I think I should get a different shirt and mail it to Fozzie. And I think when no one's watching, he'll put it on and it'll make him feel pretty. Yeah, it just sucks. It sucks. I don't want to say anything online, but a person I know just lost all of her health care, and she has meds that she abso-freaking-lutely needs, and she has to get them creatively. And it sucks because, I mean, not that our pharmacies are always, you know, they don't always have our medication, but they do a lot. And creative medicine is not always available, and it sucks, and there's nothing that anybody can do.
The plaintiff, Ms. Pickett, and her husband in this matter around $7,995. Is that correct?
No, it's not.
Okay. But you were paid, correct?
I was paid, but not what you're claiming.
All right. And you didn't complete the job. Is that correct?
I did complete the job. We actually had a meeting afterwards because if you actually reviewed the invoice, it says final payment is due upon completion, meaning they don't pay me unless the job is complete, meaning you have to walk through and confirm. We actually had a meeting in the bathroom there. They went through all of their small concerns and or details. I came by again and rectified those details. They checked those over again and then submitted final payment.
All right. And do you have any documentation to support that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You have the invoice that states that payment isn't done and submitted into completion.
Okay. Do you have any evidence to show that there was a walkthrough or a punch list that I guess that's what indicated was done?
So does the court no longer have the text messages that we submitted?
I don't have those with me, but if you have some, you can reference those, and the court may have them. I'm not 100% sure.
We submitted, documentation.
You're lucky you sent one to school, because if they had to use theirs for your daughter, they would have charged you $1,000 or more to replace it.
All of the text messages that were discussing the bathroom and the mediation, the meeting that we had, all of those were submitted to the court. I don't have them personally on hand, but we've submitted those months ago to the court.
Okay. And again, you blocked Ms. Pickett and her concerns about the work performed, so the breakdown in communication regarding the work and issues associated with the work that she performed. Is that correct?
She was blocked after she became argumentative, and I'm not going to argue with a woman, nor am I going to argue with a client, especially when I have the ability to communicate with her husband, who's more reasonable and easier to talk to, if you want to put it in layman's terms.
I don't have any further questions, Judge.
All right. Ms. Snowden, any testimony you want to give the court?
Yes, I will start from the beginning of the project. From the beginning of the project, I was asked by Ms. Pickett and her husband. They introduced this project to me at the time. I was pregnant with my son. They introduced the idea of wanting to do this project based off of the consistencies of them having.
Let me pause you, Ms. Snowden.
Yes.
Because everybody wants to tell, let me just sort of help you. Because I've gotten a lot of the facts at this point. Okay. I don't, unless you contest, if there's a fact that you disagree with, I tell you to focus on that. But if you're in agreement that you were contacted, there's no dispute that you were contacted to fix a bathroom and that you all agreed to fix the bathroom and that you.
But Judge, it all started in 3rd grade when Mrs. Burns would not let me go to the bathroom when I needed to. And this is when it started, Judge, and you need to hear the whole thing.
Invoice. I don't need to hear those facts that everybody agrees on. Okay? So there's a whole set of facts where everybody agrees that's what happened. So if there's something you heard that you disagree with and that you take issue with, that's what I should hear from you at this point.
Okay, I was trying to do a little bit of the backstory on that, just going by the documentation that I received, which was submitted. One of the documents that was submitted was for a payment that was paid to me specifically, because when we started the project, it wasn't initially Jabri wasn't included. He was brought on after the fact. And so one of the invoices that they submitted was payment specifically to me. And so I was just trying to kind of highlight the issue with that. Because like you said, it's the facts. Like I was a little bit not confused, I'll say, but I was a little bit like taken aback with the extra additional charges and invoices that were added on after the fact, because that's not the initial documentation that was submitted. Nor
Well, then if there's something you have an issue with, jump to that. Go straight to that.
So I guess I'll just go and I'll talk about the contacting. The bathroom, I'll talk about that first. The bathroom before the project was completed, as Mr. Mason stated, Ms. Pickett, Mr. Pickett, Mr. Mason and I, we all literally sat in the bathroom. And as stated, we went through each of the checkpoints. We went through everything that they had a concern with. The bathroom wall situation, that was brought up prior to completion. And we literally stated to them, because they told us that they got their home painted maybe like a few months before we started the renovation project. So they were like, the baseboards and all of that stuff had already gotten painted. We said, okay, fine. Instead of us doing all of the painting of like the baseboards and stuff like that, we'll just be adding in an accent color into the wall to, bring the project to life. So they brought up the concern of the walls and all of that stuff. Prior to, and we talked through it. We literally talked through it. That was kind of how the toilet situation happened, with Mr. Mason installing the toilet as basically kind of just like a, good face. Like, hey, we'll go ahead and install the toilet. Don't worry about that fee because you had these concerns of XYZ. There were like small concerns and things that they had that they, brought to my attention. And as Mr. Mason said, there was a list of things. Those were rectified. He went back after we all had the conversation in the bathroom, and he fixed those things. And as he stated, like, we were paid out and closed. There was no other communication regarding the bathroom besides their faucets, which I had to reorder their faucets because after the fact, we agreed collectively that the gold color should be a little deeper. So we talked about ordering faucets so they can have the faucets, installed. And me and Mr. Pickett had our own side conversation.
I think that's just for elderly. I think that it's just for 65 and older, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I think.
And about that after the fact, like Jabri said, Mr. Pickett, I never had any issue with him or anything of that sort. We talked through it. He said, hey, if you guys just, will reorder the faucets, that's fine. That'll, close everything out with the bathroom. We already had all talked and agreed upon that. As far as the kitchen, the only thing that I had outstanding in the kitchen was I was supposed to, because she ended up having like other contractors and things of that sort come to work on the property. Initially, she wanted me to head the project. We had some previous issues and things like that with just like timelines and personal things that Mr. and Mrs. Pickett had going on in their lives. And so I reached out to them and I said, hey, I would rather just step away from the project. I don't mind still being here, as a liaison to just help and guide you. I'm, here if you have any questions about what products or anything that you need to be picking out, the fixtures, anything of that sort when it came to.
Snowden.
Yes.
Listen, this is not a hearing just to go through every conversation and everything you all said.
Okay.
The allegation is that she paid you for work.
Mm-hmm.
Work was not done properly. So
I'm not going to say who said no, but one side did not approve.
She had to correct it. That's it.
Okay, well, on my end, everything was handled. I mean, we closed everything out. I didn't have any outstanding balances with her. The last time that she contacted us regarding anything concerning either one of the projects, the last thing that she contacted me specifically about, she didn't contact Jabri. She specifically contacted me first, and she was just like, hey, I had someone come and look at the kitchen sink, and he said that it wasn't installed properly. I'm gonna need you, you guys to pay for this or something of that sort. And I politely told her, I said, hey, I wasn't involved in anything as far as the kitchen sink. You would need to, reach out to Mr. Mason because he's the one that performed the work. And that also was a contract between him and, Mr. Pickett. From that point, she got upset and she got, like Jabri said, argumentative, and she put us both in a group chat, and it just became like more so, of an argument. And that was the only one time that she literally came to us after we all sat in the bathroom and we combed through all of the fine details and all of the concerns or anything they had regarding the bathroom. That was the one time she reached out to us. As soon as that conversation did not go as she anticipated, it was, okay, I'll see you in court. We never had any other prior,
All right, so in case you missed it with all these words going on, so as soon as she started complaining about the work, they both blocked her. They both blocked her so she couldn't get through to them anymore.
Any other communications after the fact regarding anything as far as the bathroom or the kitchen. And I had one outstanding thing left from the kitchen, which was a rug that we were waiting on. And I sent her money for the rug. And I said, I'll go ahead and cancel the order.
All right, listen, nobody has brought up a rug. I haven't heard any soup on a rug. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. Stick with what we're talking about, what they've sued.
Closed out from my end. There were no, outstanding balances or anything. We all agreed upon the work at that time. And that was the only time Ms. Pickett reached out to us with any additional concerns outside of the conversation in the meeting that we all had where we agreed that the job was closed out.
Okay. Mr. Kane, any questions for Ms. Snowden?
Just a couple, Judge. Ms. Snowden, did you end up blocking Ms. Pickett at all regarding communication as Mr. Mason did, or did you just continue to communicate with Ms. Pickett?
No, I did not block Ms. Pickett. I just let her know that I wasn't, I didn't mind having a conversation with her, but I just let her know that the way in which she was, speaking to me and things like that, I understood the fact that she was upset and she had concerns, but I just let her know, I'm just like, hey, this isn't what the conversation is intended for. Like, we can absolutely have a conversation and talk, but if it's going to be this, then we will not, continue to have a conversation. And so that's kind of where it got to the point of her basically being upset, and it was the okay, I'll see you in court. And I said, okay. And I never blocked Ms. Pickett. I actually attempted myself to reach out to Ms. Pickett one time after the fact, and I never heard anything back from her. So that was that. I never blocked her. She still had my number. She actually blocked me. I found out after the fact, and I found that out after I tried to attempt at one time after to reach out to her. So. That we didn't have any blocking or anything. She could have reached out to me.
All right, let me ask you, you understand that the scope of work was to do some remodeling to the bathroom as well as the kitchen sink, is that correct?
I was not included on the kitchen sink. The only thing I can speak in regards to would be the bathroom.
Okay, and you didn't do the work, you were doing the design of all that. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, I did the scope of the project. I headed the project, made sure that she knew everything that was being installed. I picked out all the finishes, the fixtures, correct the whole design concept.
Right. And most of your communication regarding the design and the project was with Ms. Pickett. Is that correct?
It was Mr. and Mrs. Pickett. There will be a lot of instances where Ms. Pickett would be busy, and sometimes she wouldn't be there. So I would, speak with Mr. Pickett. So I feel like, I actually feel like during the process, to be honest, the second part of it, like the first few months, it was mainly just Ms. Pickett. But after that, it became Mr. and Mrs. Pickett, and for the most part, it was communication with the both of them.
Okay. All right, and that communication, it happened several months into the project. So the project started in December 20.
Wake up, Judge. You can't fall asleep yet. We still got 5 minutes left.
21. So much of that communication was Ms. Pickett, and then it sort of started to be both of them a few months after that.
No, the whole bringing up of the project actually started in October of 2021, and with all of the roadblocks and things we were experiencing, like I said, due to some personal things that Mr. and Mr. Pickett had going on, we didn't really start fully with the project until December of 2021.
Okay, all right. And you've heard testimony of Ms. Pickett, the what needs to be corrected for the project, the work that's performed, and you obviously dispute that. Is that correct?
That's correct. As I stated, we all literally sat in that bathroom and we
Ms. Snowden.
Yes.
You just answer only the question that's put before you.
Yes.
Here's, let me just share something with you. Every time you say again, it means you've said it already. So if you say again, we sat in the bathroom, I've heard that you all have sat in the bathroom and talked about things. So
yes.
I want you to stay focused. Just answer the questions Mr. Kane puts to you.
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah, that's all the questions I have. Thank you.
All right. Based on the questions that Mr. Kane has asked you, Ms. Snowden and Mr. Mason, do you all have anything else you want to add?
I would just add that I feel like this could have all been prevented had the situation been approached differently. As I said, we all have to take some form of accountability here. I never minded talking and having a conversation with Jasmine and Miss Pickett, excuse me, to, talk through things or get anything rectified. For me, it was the disrespect, and I understood, like I said, that you were angry, but we could have had a conversation about this. Even when you approached us, it was never an approach saying, hey, giving us the opportunity to fix anything that you had a concern about. It was basically just, this is what you're going to do. And I'm telling you that, this is what's going to happen. And I'm just like, no, that doesn't work like that. I feel like Jabri should have been given a chance to rectify whatever issues, and just even on my end, just off the basis of even just being supposed to be in family and things like that. This definitely could have went a totally different way. I just think with everyone's emotions and things like that involved in trying to do work with family, it just ended in an unfortunate way. And it's just very disappointing. Like, Jasmine stated, we've lost a relationship behind this, and it's just put so much strain and time just on everyone.
All right. So,
Nope.
is there anything else by either side to present any additional facts?
Joseph, my client has asked that her husband testify, but I don't know how much he could add over to them to counter what the most communication was. But it's up to you if you want to hear from him. But I think maybe it'd be a repeat of what we already testified to.
Yeah. So unless there's some new information, I've got everything that I need. Let me. I think we're going to stop there. Unless there is something new that I've not heard already. All right. And it doesn't sound like there is. Okay. Folks, I'm going to take it under advisement. And what that means for those of you that are not attorneys is you all have both submitted documents. I'm going to look at them. And I'm going to make a decision having heard you all's testimony, understanding what has gone on. I do want to share with you, I appreciate the presentation from both sides. I understand what went on. I understand that there was some contracting done for a bathroom, and then some additional work in the kitchen on the sink, and communication went bad. There's no other way to describe at this point. I'll go through the communication, but it sounds like there was an issue with communication. Now, with construction and remedial measures in construction are very technical. I'm sure Mr. Kane has explained that to you, Ms. Pickett. It's an uphill battle. There are certain requirements that must be done to allow the contractor a chance to correct any things that are there. But I also heard the testimony that Mr. Mason blocked you on his phone. I'll take all of this under advisement and I'll get you all out in order. If you all do not agree with my decision, you have 30 days to ask a higher court to review that decision. All right.
He shut off. He shut it off. The video was taken down right there, but I got it at the end. I put it on double speed so I could get it right before. I mean, that was timed absolutely perfectly. Anyway, they lost. I mean, she lost. He was trying to tell them there that construction, to sue someone for doing bad construction work is tricky. It's not easy to do, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. The pickets didn't do it right, and the pickets lost. I think the reason why they lost is because they hired someone else to do the work before they gave them the chance to do the work, even though both of them blocked her. I think by law they would have had to bring them to court and make them like redo the work or pay for the work, and then they could hire someone else to redo the work. But that's not what they did. They didn't like the work. They hired someone else to do the work, and then they said that these guys had to pay them for the for those people. So they lost. And they're just out all that money. But it's never a good idea if you're going to work for someone to block them on your phone, because technically that should have won that case right there. Just both of them blocking her. Yeah, before they fixed it, they should have done some more stuff. And they didn't. They didn't. All right, guys, we made it to the end. I try not to do all domestic violence and drunk driving every day. So that's why I gave you this. It's not as entertaining as drunk driving and domestic violence, I guess, but we can't just keep doing the same ones every day. We got to do different ones. So we're doing different ones. Now I have to get some videos together, or Fozzie's just literally gonna kill me, because I think I've been promising for weeks now. So, oh no, it's OJ time. That's my fault. I'm doing OJ, then I'll do some videos for Fozzie before he literally kills me, like, oh my gosh, kills me. So I know. We had Christmas, we had New Year's, and then I had the flu. I canceled all that out. So, all right, let me see if I can do a redirect real quick. I forgot all about OJ. Live stream. I'll fix the title later. OJ. I'll fix the description later. OJ. Schedule for later. 6:30 a.m. All right, I'm putting a redirect on. It's thinking. Okay, done. So now when I end this stream, it'll just take you to OJ. It just says OJ. It doesn't say a number or anything. I shall fix it. Do not worry. Oh, before we leave, can I just say one more thing? I got to pull it up because I want to make sure I get it right. CJ, I hope you're still here. I'm pulling up a comment that I got. Epic. Epic comment. Oh, wait, no. There's me. The firefighter I don't give a shit about came up. Here we go. CJ. Spirit Loves Colorado's back. Hi CJ, saw you say hello to us lurkers. I'd be more sociable if I could feel better. Ah, oh, poor thing. Anyway, love to y'all. Maiko, Donald, me, Happy New Year, Fozzie, Nan, and all of ya. Sorry, I talk too much. But every day you say hi to the lurkers and they see you. They see you. So thank you, CJ. Alright, guys. Time to go to OJ. I'll see you in a minute. Bye.
Got these lights that goes digital dreams through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Freedom tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle she lights the way. Her eyes near a sky so blue. In her jokes there's a truth so true. With each stream she brings the light, turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Streaming tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle she lights the way. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no